Greetings, guys and gals. This is XIJABERWALKIX bringing you the best in esports. Today we have Air Force Ace versus Hwaseung set 1. And I know this game is about a week late, but I still can't get any recent Brood War VODs, so I'm just going to do one of these old games. This is going to be Deer versus Innocent. Innocent spawning at the top left as the brown Protoss player for Air Force Ace. At the bottom left, we have Deer, who is going to be playing for Hwaseung as the red Protoss player. This is going to be a PvP matchup. And I actually really like PvP. I think that it's just really interesting to see what type of builds each player goes in the Dragoon Micro as well as the Reavers. Coincidentally, in StarCraft 2, actually, I hate PvP. It's my worst matchup. I just never know really what to do, and it really seems like a dice roll with 4-gating and 3-gate robos. I mean, you can go different builds, but pretty much like Artosis said in one of the recent GSL, the GSTL actually, VODs, he said that it's pretty much you have to go for a 4-gate or else you're pretty much screwed. It's a very happy guy there to be on the camera. Anyways, no early probes coming out, so probably no cheese for either player. They're both probably going to play somewhat standard, at least up to this point. And Innocent and Deer, both really super new players. I think Deer is actually a lot newer than Innocent is. Deer's actually only played a handful of games, not even a handful actually, but I can't really tell you things because then that might give it away. And meanwhile, Innocent, aka M18M, is a newer player also, has around, I believe, like 50-ish wins and around like 49-ish, something like that, losses. So he's pretty good. Sorry about this. I'm going to have to itch my ear, and I know that's probably annoying. You guys can probably hear that on the mic, which I'm getting a new one soon, probably in half a month or a month or so. So I'll have a new mic. Hopefully it'll have better sound quality, and it might even get rid of that static noise that I know that now that I mentioned it, you guys are listening to. Assimilator going down for Innocent, and it looks like Assimilator also went down for Deer. So both players, from the looks of things, are going for somewhat of a standard PvP build. And hopefully sometime in the near future they switch to the game cam. There it goes. So Innocent is going to be scouting in the wrong direction first on this 4-player map here. And Deer, meanwhile, is getting his Cybernetics Core as well as Innocent. Innocent's Cybernetics Core is going to be a little bit later than Deer's, which is kind of interesting. Deer has his Cybernetics Core already up, and the Cybernetics Core for Innocent is about maybe 1/3 of the way, a little bit more. Both still pumping out probes. Very, very good there. Zealot's trying to chase out Deer's probe. Not really going to be able to do so. You can pretty much micro around a normal Zealot for all eternity. Same thing's going on in Deer's base, and so until the Dragoon comes out, we do see that Cybernetics Core spinning, by the way, but until that Dragoon comes out, he's not going to be able to get the probe out of the base, and that's really when we see the deviations. We usually see 1 gate in a Cybernetics Core until you get that probe out, and you're going to be able to do some damage there. Interestingly enough, we do see a second Zealot out for Innocent. Meanwhile, Deer has opted to go for a Dragoon, which is going to be very effective at getting that probe out. I think he's already got that probe out, to be completely honest. Meanwhile, Deer's probe still in Innocent's base, so Innocent really isn't going to be able to hide any type of tech that he's going, and he might be forced to kind of show his hand early on, because if Deer's probe isn't killed soon, then it's going to be a little bit too late for him to go for any type of tech. He's going to be a little bit too behind. He's going to need to put that down. And it looks like that probe did die from that Dragoon. So 2 Zealots and a Dragoon out for Innocent. And Deer has, I believe, 1 Zealot and 1 Dragoon. Probably has another Dragoon joining up with the other army. It looks like we have a gate into robotics for Innocent. And meanwhile, Deer looks like maybe not going any type of other tech. They're just putting down a pylon. So that's very, very interesting. Might be thinking of going for something like an expansion build. But this could be very bad because Innocent is just teching up, getting out more gateways, gonna have a lot more macro in terms of army, and oh man, Deer, don't do it. Deer putting down the Nexus, as I said, going for this econ build. Is it gonna work? Just really depends if we see an observatory before a... Oh man, the probe sees it, so now he's gonna go in for a push, I believe. I mean, he has to go in for some type of timing push now. to where he's going to catch Deer off guard, and he's going to catch Deer at the point where he hasn't really utilized that base to his full potential. That base is still going to be just 400 mils that he could have used on units, and it's not. Now we're probably going to see a robotics first. Like I said, the Cyber Nordics core is spinning, and Deer in a ton of trouble early. He's going to only have one gate. He does have 4 Dragoons and a Zealot, which is bigger than the army of Innocence, but Innocence is just going to be able to pump out so many units, man. I'm assuming a shuttle is going to be out in the near future so he can get that Reaver out as well. And now Deer, noticing this, is going to put out 2 gateways of his own, but if Innocent pushes in here, he might be able to do enough damage to which Deer would not be able to come back from. And here it looks like he's kind of prodding in just a little bit. Those gateways not yet morphed in, and just Innocent does have the bigger army. He does have the shuttle, now is pumping out the Reaver. If the Reaver comes in time, this is going to be able to do just so much damage. And oh man, Observatory going down first for Deer, so this is going to make it even worse because he doesn't have Reavers to reinforce his army. Not going to be able to do things like Reavers versus Dragoons at all, and that's going to be really bad. Surprisingly enough, though, Innocent is backing up kind of into his base. Might be thinking about taking his own expansion, but I really think that he should just move in here and go on the offensive and attack, because if he does not, then Deer is definitely going to be ahead, just blocking off of his base at 2 choke points. Looks like he might be thinking about moving out now, building a pylon at the front, so he is probably thinking about expanding in the near future. Good arc there by Deer, but is it going to be enough? I don't believe so, especially with that Reaver now. Probe Scout trying to prod in, looking for something. He sees that Innocent's army is moving in, and he's going to have to react accordingly. I'm assuming that base now is up for Deer, so very, very shortly he's going to have more economy, more macro than Innocent is. That Nexus is finished warping in, and good spread by Deer, but it's just really going to come down to the shuttle and this Reaver if he's able to prod in here. Honestly, I think that Innocent rather just waited a little bit too long, and Deer might be able to defend this. Looks like he's splitting up his forces. Here comes the Reaver doing some damage on those Dragoons. Dragoons splitting up fairly well. Deer pulling off probes just to do some blocking, and it looks like he might be able to deter Innocent. Innocent still doing a huge amount of damage with that Reaver. Reaver doing very, very well against the Dragoon. Another Dragoon pops, 2 more Dragoons pops, and I think that this is going to be it. Like I said before, he's just going to have to use that timing attack. I thought maybe he could hold it off, but really, that was good timing by Innocent. I take that back because he just barely got in before that Reaver came in. Sorry for the FPS issues. What the heck was happening there? Looks like he's transferring his probes, but if Innocent's able to take out this Reaver, it's definitely going to be game. Able to pick up the Reaver. Just really good micro. No shuttle out for Deer, and this is going to be really bad for Deer. There's no way I believe that he's going to be able to come back from this, and Innocent just pushing in, and he's going to win the first match for Air Force Ace. Deer GG's, and that's pretty much going to be it. Remember, guys, if you like this, please subscribe, please give me a like, and comment below if you guys have anything to say, anything at all. Critical advice or constructive criticism is very, very welcome. And hopefully I'll get some new Brood War VODs soon, and I will be casting the MSL finals, possibly the semifinals as well. It's obviously, spoiler alert, going to be a ZVZ matchup. There's the salute, and I'm out of here. Lates.